Many people try to fix their life, then you get to a point there's still more fixing. There's no end to fixing. See when you become empty if you are unhappy. See if you're anxious. See if you're worried about life or death. See, because you will have the capacity to see. And if it feels really, really good to you, invest in this commitment to keep doing it, just for yourself. What is more simple than this? Thank you.
Is it on? It is on. Okay.
Take your time.
Okay.
And you may sit if you want. How you feel?
It's good to stand.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm asking you because I want you to test me about something that comes up for me daily. It didn't when I was younger. Okay. Every day, I live with the reality that it could be my last day.
Yes, it's a good thing.
And I have this desire in me to die consciously. And what I mean by that is to not hold on to my physical reality when it's time for me to leave. And I don't know if I'm able to do that. And one, I want to know, is this just my mind? Or is this really a sincere place? In other words,
thank you.
To feel the fruition of my life seems to me to be able to accept it at that moment.
Yes.
And I know I need your help.
Yes.
I know if I could be with you, I'd have no problem. If I could be with you, I would be able to trust.
There is a way of being in that way. It need not be that we're physically together. That's a very important thing. There are many people who have fell in love with Jesus Christ or with many great saints and sadhus and realized beings, and they never met them physically. And you asked a question before that one person, even one of our very dear sisters, who departed from this plane some maybe a couple of years ago. And I spoke with her the very night or so that she left the farm. And actually, she's very close with Lakshmi. And actually, even after dropping the body, Lakshmi asked her in heart, how did you leave so? What did you ask? How did you leave so? How did you depart so well? She was in very serious pain with cancer also. I spoke with her. Even there, we have a small book of the conversation I had with her, like last words I shared with her. And she said to her, I stayed only as awareness. The very same thing. We didn't have an end of the life special teaching. It is the same. You have been pointed to that, and it is clear enough to see that all things come through the mind or the senses. They come and they go. They come and they go. They come and they go. Nothing has ever come and stayed. Once you can be clear about that, you will know that you must be here because you are the witness of the things that come, play, and then go. Because if you were any of those things, when they go, you'd also be gone. And you say, okay, no, now it's gone. Who are you? Are you also a thing? Even your own state of personal identity, sometimes very strong, but it also come and go. Its emotions come and go. Its feelings come and go. Some beliefs come and go. There's something earlier than even strong personal identity that is aware of personal identity also. Isn't it?
Yes.
That. What is its form?
There is no form.
Therefore, if you have come to that recognition, stay with that and don't get it mixed up with the experiences in the mind. The mind is always coming. And if it comes and goes. And if it's weakness to come and go, there must be something deeper and purer than the mind that sees the mind coming and going.
Yes.
This I call yourself, not your ego, not the person. You see?
Yes.
And we persist with that because sometimes mind is strong. When we do the exercise, for some people it's impossible to stay detached because the mind force seems so, pulls your attention, pulls the senses, and in the beginning. But look how quick that begins to change. And if you keep it up, you persist with it, at some point you realize that, wait, this cannot change. And this is not stagnant. It's not like it's dead. It gives life to life, but it is not fickle like the mind. This is the place we have reached in this Sangha field, now to say you are crossing over from the state of person and mind into this place of being. Keep clarifying it, and the force of the mind is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. But in the beginning it will be very strong.
So then the fear that comes up is if there's a lot of pain, that the intensity of that experience.
Yes. Waking up more and more to the real self, you realize how much pain you live in as a person.
Yes, yes.
All our life, the state of personhood is a state of anxiety, unstable, restless.
Yes.
So when you're able, I don't say destroy, don't destroy, but look with detachment and come to recognize that there's a space between the mind and its play and the place which sees it. And just keep just this. You don't need to be doing 10, 15 techniques. You don't need anything. Follow just this. It is enough. The mind will give you other things. Say, no, try this as well, try this as well. Because when something works, be sure your mind is going to try to get you to try something else. That's the play. And it's not a surprise to anyone who comes to know that this is a play that you must transcend. And you can. Because the mind is not stronger than who you are, but it's stronger than your present state of personal identity.
Say that again.
The mind is not stronger than who you truly are, but it is much more influential to the person you take yourself to be, which is a mind-created identity. Most people in the world probably will not be able to hear me say this. They're already so captured that it's not even appealing. This kind of talk is not appealing. It's not appealing. You must have been somehow being prepared by some grace to even be here. It must take some maturity to be in a place where ego is challenged. Not challenged to a fight,
no,
but challenged by a higher wisdom. And still you are here. I'm waiting to see who will come out next, who will come. But you are here.
I'm
Something
very
is with
grateful
you.
to be here.
Something is with you. That a higher thing than the mind can offer you is with you.
Thank you.
Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just take a moment now. If I was giving 7, 8 powerful techniques about how to do things, the mind will be much more interested probably. But when things are boiled down to the quintessence of understanding, then you start to feel the twitching and the wriggling, because something that is not yet stable start to feel challenged. You must bear that challenge and go beyond that seeming challenge. Actually, the thing is nothing at all. But to the one who believes it, it becomes something really important. We have been throwing away many wonderful opportunities because the ego didn't like it. It's like that. Okay. You either this or this one.
Thank you, Mooji. I feel a really strong urge to lay this out before you and the Sangha. When I attended the retreat last week and subsequently here in lots of conversations, I came to the realization that this is what I am committing my life to. And I've made that. I've said that. I'm starting now. Tomorrow I go home and I know I'll be going into a maelstrom of issues and problems, and I want to place them at your feet, because what they are is what's held me back for 50 years. And that's a preoccupation with the sort of the success outcome that our society conditions us to. And I have been caught up in that. And I'm in a few tricky situations, and I want to put them at your feet and, proclaim that from now I'm seeking to live in my heart and not to give priority to all of these to these work-life situations.
Yes, just little by little you persist. Just persist. And it grows. Don't try to conquer everything at once. Just stay, look and see. You come, if you don't identify with anything at all, just for short. Don't say all day. You're not asked to do all day. But in the morning I would recommend you give a little time before you go out into the world, so to speak, and learn to just empty yourself. Everybody should know what is the most healthy thing for a human being, and nobody's teaching it. Just empty everything. Don't fight, don't curse, don't throw, don't destroy, but empty, be detached. Let things come, but give more energy to just being detached and yet conscious. Don't hold a shape to yourself. Just be aware and detached. Don't hide, don't fight. Learn to do it. Because nobody is empty. We're all carrying something. Nobody, it tastes what empty, and yet is the one thing that is universal in you. So don't try and take on the world. It's only here. Your world is only in here. Learn to be detached. And you'll see that quickly, you feel the change inside more. Just stay with it. And don't worry for anything else. Gradually, a lot of the troubles you have in life will begin to come more right. Autocorrect. Just keep staying. And something want to say, it cannot be this, it cannot be simple like this. Just do. And then when you say, I've done this, I've looked at this. See when you become empty if you are unhappy. See if you are suffering. See if you're anxious. See if there's any fear lingering in you. See if you're worried about life or death. See. Because you will have the capacity to see. And if it feels really, really good to you, invest in this commitment to keep doing it, just for yourself. What is more simple than this? It's just the mind is not having it. It's trying to find another way to fix the world, which it doesn't want to. Many people try to fix the life, then you get to a point there's still more fixing. There's no end to fixing. All that needs to happen is that you are in the place of self-discovery, that you're resting inside your heart. All the great beings, the teachers, those transcended, that's all that happened. They came back to their original nature. Earlier than the mind and conditioning, they didn't fight. When you realize who you are, life goes on. Action, reaction, interaction, people, life flows. And you find that your own life is flowing also. Rather than fencing and defending and trying to arrange life, you find that in some way you are life. And at the same time, the witnessing of life occurs to you. Simple.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd also like to thank the beings here whom I've encountered who've said that exact thing to me, and I appreciate that.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Should we sit a little bit? We won't break up the sitting with too many, just one sitting will do for 15 or 17 minutes. I think you can handle it. I'm here with you, okay? Om. Now, leave everything alone. Don't carry any identity with anything that may appear in the mind. Be apart and alone and conscious. Mind will take some shape. It will come, it's okay. You are not this shape or any shape. But resist the habit to get pulled into the mind's movement. Very simple. Be very determined to stay uninvolved. Doesn't matter what comes. Just be alone. Let go of all identity. It is possible. Do it. Remain empty and inwardly very spacious. You are not a room. You have no boundaries here. Do not hold on to any identity. hear this sound, it means emptiness. Stay empty. For some time it might seem very easy to become distracted. Because of the habit to play with the mind. But here, now, be only alone. You don't need any identity for this. And do not fall asleep. Don't create. Stay empty. Detached. You're being aware of the strength of the mind that has been the main influence in your functioning. You're doing well. Stay empty and conscious. Mind will try to put you to sleep, to avoid the power of being awake and empty. Do not be deceived. You do not need anything from the mind. Discover this. Here, mind's trick is always to distract you from God within yourself, from truth, and from your eternal nature. stay empty. Even it feels difficult to not engage with the mind, but grace is with you. This is perhaps one of the most important exercises to break free from ego. Discover pure consciousness, unmixed with mind. This is very rare, but you will never regret it. Choose to remain empty. Don't identify with the person. This is weakness. Very good. Stay empty. There is nothing of value mind can give you here. You are choosing and have chosen by God's grace to awaken in this life form. Something is trying to distract you from this. Stay only aware. Awareness is yourself. True. Beyond names and forms. Don't let your head fall. Stay up. Do not touch any image or any thought or even the sense of your own personal identity, be detached. It's only appearing in mind. Awareness is not a state you have come to enjoy, beyond enjoyment or suffering. Absolutely pure being. That which perceives, experiencing even. Stay empty. Be determined to stay empty. Do not give in to the mind. You will soon see why. You are not your head. You are not your thoughts. Oh. Empty, empty. Notice the unbound nature of this emptiness. Without boundary. This exercise is most important for you to recognize that thoughts, sensations can come, but they cannot affect the emptiness. You're very present. Also, that there's no need to sit all day, but to clarify your being, be here, and life flows on within the awareness, as it has always done. It's very important to experience the separation from personal feelings and identity and mind. Clarity and peace, true happiness. Also be aware that awareness itself does not change. Awareness is not an exercise. It is the ground of being. You need not believe this. You ought to be able to verify. You're awake. If you don't touch identity, everything is flowing fine. Actions, reactions, interactions become natural. But don't speak about it. Simply be. Sometimes you may experience a sensation like the urge to yawn, meaning like very natural thing, very good, freeing up the space. It can happen also, and also sign of grace. It's okay. Don't work for that. Everything spontaneous. You begin to experience everything as a play of spontaneity. You'll be very present and undisturbable. But if disturbance play, also be aware of this. You may go and sit just again, clarify and move. Clarify, flow. All is good. Do not endure being in the company that disturbs your peace. You can step away. You do not have that obligation unless it is forced upon you, in which case you will turn it into an exercise in detachment. And do not look for trouble to test yourself. Let it come spontaneously. Okay. I say don't look for things to test because it's the ego that wants to be tested. Very good. Oh, thank you. Ignorance will manifest through the mind, but if and when ignorance gets combined with arrogance, much trouble will come. Observe them with detachment. free yourself from such entanglements and remain happy and peaceful.